I am so pleased to be here today. My name is Janine Dingus-Eason. I am the Dean of the Feinstein School of Education and Human Development. Today, we celebrate the official ribbon cutting on Horace Mann Hall. For those of us, yes, although it's slightly chilly outside, the timing of today's event could not have occurred at a better time. I think all things kind of fall into place into where they're supposed to be. Just last week, our educator preparation programs hosted the RIDE Prep RI accreditation team, and we were awarded a 5-year approval term. We are especially proud of all of our faculty, staff, and students who were involved in that process. The timing of the completion of Horace Mann Hall also coincides with something that's happening nationally and regionally, and most certainly across the state. We've experienced and we are seeing steep declines in the teacher workforce. So we know that the need for certified teachers is great. For example, Indeed.com currently lists over 1,600 teaching jobs in the state. Math and science teachers top the list of high needs areas. ONET Online indicates that employment needs for certified elementary and middle school teachers will grow 5% from 2020 to 2030, with 4% of elementary special ed teachers and about as fast as the average for all occupations. The need for teachers with certification in TESOL and special education is especially acute. Currently, there are over 16,000 students designated as multilingual learners in Rhode Island. That translates to about 11% of the total student population. So the timing of this building is critical for the state and the region. The new Horace Mann Hall positions the Feinstein School of Education and Human Development to meet those needs in a state-of-the-art facility to prepare educators. And here's an important placeholder I do want to note. So when we talk about the impact of the Feinstein School of Education, it's critical to note that probably most of you sitting here were educated by a RIC alum. You had a RIC teacher, or your children had a teacher that was educated here at RIC. We have over 12,000 alums across the state and region. The impact is felt not only in the preparation of future classroom teachers, but our graduate level programs for individuals who currently serve as classroom teachers and are seeking additional certification. Our reach also includes school psychologists, as we have the only school psychology program in the state, and clinical mental health counselor preparation. Thus, what is taught in this building, what's learned in this building, and what is imparted in this building has a direct and lasting impact on the state of Rhode Island. On behalf of our faculty and staff, yes, it does. So on behalf of our faculty, staff, and over 1,200 students in the School of Education here, I would like to thank the voters of Rhode Island who approved the bond which supported the construction of this building. Your vote solidifies the position of our school as the school of choice for Rhode Island educators. And for that, we are so grateful to you all. Many thanks to the dignitaries, past and present, involved in prioritizing the renovation of Horace Mann Hall, some of whom are here today to celebrate the opening of this beautiful edifice. Our new building contains 6 new classroom spaces and 3 new seminar spaces, adds 3 new seminar spaces to the campus footprint, faculty and staff offices, and I should note that although our health and phys ed faculty are still housed largely over in the Murray Center, which allows greater access to the facilities there, Horace Mann contains a landing space for those faculty as well. So we can now say, for all intents and purposes, that we are now all together in one place, unified in our mission and purpose. We are so pleased that our mental health counseling and school psychology graduate students have observation spaces where students can learn firsthand through client-practitioner interactions. And togetherness in one physical space improves student outcomes and access to education classrooms, which were designated as themed spaces to promote the continuous evolution and meaning of, well, what does it mean to be a School of Education student? I'm especially proud of the thoughtfulness of the building design, and many thanks to the architectural team who've actually become some of my buddies over the past 4 years now. They spent countless hours listening to and engaging our students, staff, and faculty, and listen to how they could best utilize the space in engaging ways. As you tour the building, the use of light very intentionally is used to energize and draw learners into spaces in ways which encourage greater teamwork, engagement, and actually draw in the community. We saw evidence just 2 days ago with a record attendance at our RIC Acceptance Students Day. Future School of Education students were excited about the possibility of calling Horace Mann Hall their home. And as a New Yorker, I have to say that when we talk about home, home is so important to me, and it really means everything. My parents still live in the same place after 52 years, the same house after 52 years. And this is our home. And similarly, it means everything to us and to our students, particularly as we are largely a commuter campus. It warms my heart to come in here every day and to see students utilizing the spaces in different ways, finding little study nooks and finding places where they can participate in group projects, in lounges, and yes, on their phones. But they now have a home here on our campus. So once again, I'm pleased to welcome all of you to our new home, and I'm so excited for you to tour this space. So thank you so much. And now I'd like to invite President Jack Warner to come to the podium for remarks.
Thank you very much, Dean Dingus-Eaton. I want to begin by acknowledging that the education that takes place at Rhode Island College happens on Narragansett land. We honor the history and ancestry of the First Nations and indigenous peoples in our state and their contributions to our communities. Now, on behalf of myself, the Feinstein School of Education and Human Development, and our entire campus community, I want to welcome you to the all-new Horace Mann Hall. Special thanks to you, Governor McKee, Representative Raymond Hull, Senator Valerie Lawson, Chair of the Board of Education Dennis Duffy, Chair of the Council on Post-Secondary Education David Caprio, Commissioner Shannon Gilkey, Post-Secondary Education Council Member Thomas Izzo, Rhode Island Foundation President Joyce Stevos, Foundation Board Member John Smith, Christian Lads, Enno Fritsch, and Patrick Torberg of LLB Architects, and Patrick Collins and Matt Taubman of HV Collins Construction. Please join me in applauding the role of all of these people in this beautiful event here today. Today is a really exciting day for Rhode Island College, but also for the entire state of Rhode Island. Nearly every Rhode Islander will be affected by what happens inside this building. Whether you once had a teacher who was a RIC alumnus, or one of your family members has one or will have one, or maybe the principal at your child's school, or their guidance counselor is a RIC grad. The impacts of the work being done inside this building will ripple out to touch the lives of everyone in this state, either directly or indirectly. The Feinstein School of Education and Human Development prepares more teachers for Rhode Island's classrooms than any institution in this state. And as such, it's a vital anchor institution for our schools, our economy, and our future. That's why the General Assembly and the people of Rhode Island saw fit to approve the bond that funds this $25 million transformation. And on behalf of the college, I want to thank you all for that support. Believe it or not, this building opened originally in 1971. And this renovation is the first major transformation since then. Now that it is complete, the School of Education will have a true home. As the flagship building for that school, it will serve as a laboratory for the best ideas and practices in modern education. And might I say, all of that just recently reinforced by our 5-year reaccreditation. So congratulations to you, Dean Dingus-Eaton, and your wonderful faculty for that. It will provide our teachers of the future with the learning spaces they need to prepare them for the classrooms of today. And with Dr. Dingus-Eaton and her incredible faculty at the helm, it will continue to produce the best and brightest educators in Rhode Island. This was a top-to-bottom transformation from a more general-purpose academic building into a cutting-edge laboratory for education. With modern, flexible classrooms and bright, vibrant common spaces where our students can work, study, collaborate, and learn from each other as much as they do from their instructors. I want to salute LLB Architects and H.V. Collins Construction for their vision and hard work on this renovation. We reopened Horace Mann for teaching and learning just in January at the start of this new semester. And we're thrilled to have you all here today to experience this transformation for yourself. It is my honor to welcome you all and to introduce our next speaker, who is Newell Roberts, a student in our School of Education. He is majoring in health and physical education, and he is a senior. Newell, come on up. You're next up.
Thank you, President Warner. I appreciate the warm welcome, everybody, and good afternoon. My name is Newell Roberts again, I am a senior here at Rhode Island College within the health and physical education major. I have a focus within adapted physical education. Otherwise, I grew up in West Greenwich, and I moved to Providence for high school, where I graduated and entered from Classical High School. I graduated in 2015, but as a native Rhode Islander, I really do appreciate this opportunity to be here and introduce our governor today of our state. Governor McKee, just to start us off, has advocated for education throughout his entire career and many years of public service. As mayor of Cumberland, lieutenant governor, and now as governor, he continues to be a champion of students and educators, as well as those whose goal and dream is to be the inspiration for students of the future. He has invested in the infrastructure of our school and buildings. Yes. He has advocated for the state's teachers and their well-being, and additionally, he has prioritized the need for affordable higher education for all Rhode Islanders. And perhaps the most important of all, he is married to a graduate from Rhode Island College. Yes. We should all have great confidence in what he lies and his leadership, and let's all please give a warm welcome to Governor McKee. Of course. Health and physical education, but currently I'm teaching at Cumberland High School.
You are? Well, that's another 2 thumbs up then. You get it. I go around the state and say, you're from Rhode Island, you get a thumbs up. You're from Cumberland, you get 2 thumbs up. Right, John? Right, John? That's right. And you taught, and you had the challenge and the pleasure at the same time of guiding our 2 kids along, right up there at the Cumberland Hill School, John McLaughlin Cumberland Hill School, and it's great to be here. And as you talk about my wife Susan, yes, on Fridays I would pick Sue up at the Thorpe Hall, which is right around the corner here, and then drop her off on Sunday nights, and I would head to school, and she would dedicate herself to being a good student, and I was kind of like playing cards up in Worcester, I think, at the college up there, but Yes, my wife Susan is a teacher. And just a few months back, we had Dr. Jill Biden in Rhode Island. And we could have picked any education institution that we wanted to. We picked her to be here at Rhode Island College. And her message was one that I believe in, and that we were to recruit, retain, and respect teachers. And that's why we're here today, investing the way we are in facilities on our state campuses, whether it's URI, CCRI, or Rhode Island College. And we're going to intend to keep on doing that as we keep on managing surpluses. Rep and Senator, we're going to kind of keep on appropriating those dollars to our campuses to make sure that we continue the great tradition of academics, athletics, and the arts here on campus. And I have to mention a Final Four team for the women's league team this year. This is the type of excellence that we want to have throughout all our efforts here at Rhode Island College and our state universities. You know, to be here at Horace Mann Hall, you know, as a vital center for the Rhode Island campus since it's opened in 1971. But just as we're seeing school facilities around the state transformed, I was just at a topping offs this morning in Providence at one of the elementary schools, Spaziano Elementary School, as we continue to invest in our education. And we're going to continue to work, have Shannon Gilkey here to be working with me, ready to launch a really special project in the state of Rhode Island where we're going to move education experience from 180 days to 365 days. That's our commitment. Next week you'll hear more about how that would happen. But with the president here actively engaged with me in conversations for the last 8 months with groups, Rhode Island College is right in the front and center of that effort. We know that 21st century learning is something that is important for us to invest in, not only because it's important to the students and the young people that live in Rhode Island or visit Rhode Island from out of state to come here and gain their education to be teachers or social workers or other professions, but it's important to our economy. Right now, we are leading the Northeast in a recovery of the economy. We want to keep it that way. Unemployment is historically low right now in the state. This is a great opportunity for us to build off of. And that's why you've seen me speak publicly recently about the Fed interest rates being increased at rates that are significantly higher than they should be and quicker than they should be, and it could cause some sort of recessionary economic circumstances. We need to buffer ourselves against that. How you buffer yourself against that? You put people to work. JOBS. That's how you do it. And how do you do that? Right here, Dean, right at Horace Mann. You know, developing the teachers that we need to enter into our schools, our public schools, our private schools, our mayoral academies, and even the homeschool students. Right? We need to touch all of them. So it's a real honor to be here again with Commissioner Gilkey and David Caprio, who is stepped up on a request to come in and to really provide leadership in a time that that is very important for us to build off the excellence that we currently have and to achieve that excellence, which I have set a bar of reaching or exceeding Massachusetts levels on reading and math skills by 2030. And that's going to happen. And we're going to lay out how we're going to make that happen. Dennis Duffy, thank you as well. President Warner, as I said. Dean Gene Dinkus, Easton, thank you so much for your leadership. And of course, to our Speaker and Senate President, who I meet with regularly, have lunch with every week, talk about the high priorities that we all share. And we do share the importance of education. And we do share the importance of this institution, Rhode Island College. And being joined here by Rep. Hull, along with Deputy Senate Majority Leader Val Lawson, it is an honor to be here to show this $70 million obligation bond that allowed us over a 3-year period to invest $25 million on this renovation. When the doors open up, we're just going to continue that tradition that Rhode Island College has, the tradition that my wife Susan was able to take full advantage of, and many people that sit in this room, and as it was mentioned, the students that are impacted by the professionals that are developed right here at Horace Mann in the education profession. We're going to honor them, we're going to recruit them, we're going to retain them, and we're going to respect our teachers. This is a fully modernized building to help us do just that. Here at Rhode Island College and across the Ocean State, we are fully supportive of our educators and also our students as they strive for a 21st century education. We know that Rhode Island is ready to improve education outcomes for all our students. The education movement that we're all supportive of will happen in all 39 cities and towns in our state, but its genesis is taking place in buildings like Horace Mann Hall and on campuses like Rhode Island College. Congratulations to each and every one of you that have made this possible. We look forward to the future and with great optimism. And with that, I'll hand it over to my friend, Rep. Raymond Hull. Come on up and say a few words. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you, Dean. My distinguished guests. And most importantly, you. We come here today to dedicate a building. A building is nothing more than the people who attend here, who will gather something from it, but also from what we put into it. And I say that on purpose because it's nice to hold the purse if you're in the representative for Rhode Island. Because we can dictate that and what goes on and how it will be spent. But most importantly, we're giving it back. I happen to be the rep from Rhode Island College. It's a great district. I wish it all would move in. But most importantly, Rhode Island College is such a gem that sometimes it goes unlooked. I say that on purpose because Rhode Island College produces, and it produces tremendously. This is just an asset to continue its ongoing journey. I thank the governor. I thank the speaker for allowing the money to progress for the benefit of Rhode Island College. But most importantly, I look back into the crowd, the people who showed up today to understand it's more than just a building and the money that we put into it. It's all about us and each one of you. Because as you go in the door, the people who will come out of this door will be better than when they went in. I thank you very much on behalf of Speaker Sakachi and the House of Representatives. Feel free to call upon us. I say thank you.
Thank you, Representative Hall. At this time, I'd like to invite Senator Valerie Lawson to come forward, please.
Thank you, Dean. It's an honor to be here today on behalf of President Ruggiero and the Rhode Island Senate. This is an exciting day for Rhode Island College and our entire state. As a proud RIC graduate, I know this institution is truly a special place. As a high school social studies teacher, and I was fortunate to be there at East Providence High School when we opened that building, and I know the impact it has. I'm thrilled to be here at this new, beautiful Horace Mann Hall that will serve aspiring educators for many years to come. The Feinstein School of Education and Human Development does incredibly important work. More than ever, as some of the speakers have mentioned, we need talented, dedicated people to become educators. It is certainly a challenging profession, especially during the last couple of years, but it's so incredibly rewarding, more so than any other profession, and I can attest to that. Teachers, counselors, psychologists, administrators, and others in this field can sure make a positive difference in young lives. At the State House, we've made investing in Rhode Island's school aging buildings a major focus in recent years. We've made amazing progress to ensure all of our state's children and teachers have learning spaces that are safe and modern. Our approach should be no different when it comes to preparing the educators for tomorrow. Like all students, they will go on to serve. Future educators deserve to learn in facilities that meet the needs of the 21st century. This beautiful building certainly fits the bill. The state-of-the-art spaces and resources here will provide a great start for RIC students embarking on their careers in education. In the years ahead, it will have major benefits for all Rhode Islanders, especially our children. And Governor, I'm so glad to hear your commitment to public education. You always have my support for that. And this project is an investment in our future. I'd like to congratulate the Feinstein School and the Rhode Island College community. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Lawson. Next up, I'm pleased to bring to the podium the Chair of the Rhode Island Board of Education, Mr. Dennis Duffy.
Thank you, and I'm pleased to be here and bring the greetings of the Board of Education. We're very much aware that from the days of the normal school to the Rhode Island College of Education till today, this has always been the premier teachers college. And investments like this make sure that that's going to happen in the future. So I can just assure you, the board is very pleased with the way this has worked out, and you've got our strong support going forward.
Thank you, Mr. Duffy. Next up, I would like to bring to the podium Mr. David Caprio, who is the Chair of the Council of Post-Secondary Education.
I'd like to ask fellow board member Tom Izzo, please, Senator Izzo, come and join me on behalf of the Council on Post-Secondary Education. Thank you for coming. And I echo the words of Dennis. We are extremely gratified to be here and see the wonderful work that was done, and especially appreciate the governor's focus and support of education on all levels in the state. We look forward to some more exciting news coming soon, we hope, Governor, and welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Caprio. Next up, I would like to invite Dr. Shannon Gilkey, who is the Commissioner of Post-Secondary Education.
Good afternoon. It was Horace Mann, the namesake of the building, when he was the Secretary of Education, that said that public education, or a public school, was a great equalizer for America. It was the belief that every American should have access to a free, high-quality public education. And if we look back on the economic trajectory of this country, it was that concept that really boosted the American economy into the 21st century. I believe if Secretary Mann was here today, he would say that about higher education. And we have the data that shows that. 72% of jobs by 2030 require some form of a post-secondary credential, and it's the colleges of education that prepare teachers, public teachers, private school teachers, parochial teachers, that will help us achieve that for Rhode Island and the United States. I want to thank the governor. I want to thank Senator Lawson, Representative Hull. We have a Rhode Island leadership from the governor to the General Assembly that supports public education, that supports Rhode Island College. Rhode Island College is on the move. It may be quietly happening behind the scenes, but Rhode Island College is on the move. And I believe if a college of education or a K-12 teacher is the heartbeat of America, the College of Education is a heartbeat of a public higher education institution. I remember the day that I got my teaching certificate from Murray State University, first generation student, where a high school teacher made a difference in my life and said, "Shannon, I think you'd be a good teacher one day." And it was a college just like Rhode Island College, normal school, member Duffy, that became a state university, that changed my life and allowed me to become what I wanted to do for the rest of my career, which is to be an educator. So I want to thank the leadership of this state. I want to thank the faculty that show up here every day and teach our future teachers. I want to thank the leadership of this country, Dr. Jill Biden, for coming here and prioritizing Rhode Island to help us recruit, respect, and retain teachers. And I think it's an exciting time to be at Rhode Island College, and I thank you for having me today.
I'm a bag lady with my Stop and Shop bags. Very briefly, I just wanted to take a moment to highlight the fact that faculty faculty, staff, and students will be contributing to a time capsule. And this time capsule over the next alumni weekend will be, we're going to bury it then. But I wanted to show it to you all today, and contents of this time capsule will speak to the future of this school. So speak to future School of Education students, faculty, and staff. The items will speak about where we are today, how we came through the pandemic, who we aspire to be, and what we want future students, faculty, and staff to know about us. And thus far, we have a letter from the current dean to the future dean is in here. We have our website landing page is included in here. And we will have items from each department that represent the interest of our students and faculty and staff. So I just wanted to take a moment to present it here. Individuals from the architectural firm and the construction firm to move forward for the official ribbon cutting.